welcome to what I'm calling the official first episode of Planner News. In reality, it's nothing too different from what I've already been doing with covering the Erin Condren Planner sneak peeks, but I'm not necessarily covering life planner stuff, obviously, but I'm also technically open to covering other planner brands besides Erin Condren. Erin Condren just happens to be the one that I am personally the most familiar with and the most enthusiastic about. But at any point, if there are any other planners you would like me to cover in some way, shape, or form, exciting releases coming out, or planners that you just want to know more about, please let me know either in the chat or in the comments, depending on if you're watching live or if you're watching the replay. And I won't make any promises, but I am happy to look into it because I'm sure there are going to be some slow news weeks for Erin Condren, and I'm going to want to branch out just for that in just a second. Okay, give me a sec, sorry. Okay, false start, kind of. Hi, sorry, I forgot to turn down the music the first time, but hello, my name is 𝗬𝗪, if you couldn't hear me before, because I do not know exactly how loud it was. I'm sorry about that, but welcome, if you could not hear me earlier, to what I'm calling my very first episode of Planner News, complete with Coco nosing my arm and my hand because she wants pets and attention. Yay! So what I was just trying to say, just in case, again, you couldn't hear me or you weren't here quite yet, since I know sometimes it takes a couple minutes for people to get notifications, is that Planner News is going to happen every week, Monday, 2:30 p.m. Pacific. Thinking about changing the time. I'll keep you updated if I decide to. But while it's going to focus on Erin Condren stuff, I'm open to discussing other planner brands, especially because I'm sure there are going to be some slow Erin Condren news weeks. And also, Erin Condren isn't the only planner brand out there. So I think while there's going to be a very big focus on Erin Condren, I'm open to other planner brands and things like that. I am curious to see who is here live, so sound off in the chat. Hi, that homeschool life. I saw you. Welcome, welcome, welcome. I did a little test stream last night, and so for anybody who was there then and is also here now, thank you. I literally just realized I forgot to brush my teeth before I started, so I really hope there's nothing in my teeth. All of my dirty little secrets. I also made myself lunch and then ate 3 bites and then didn't do any more. And I meant to wash my hair today and it didn't happen. Okay, there, all my dirty little secrets coming out. Hi Cosmic Cookie, hi Sarah, thank you for showing up. I appreciate you so much. If you were not here last night, you're probably seeing that things are very different with the look of the stream. Currently, my good camera is down. I don't know why. It died last night, literally during the Hangout and test stream, and I haven't had time to troubleshoot it yet. So we're using my webcam. Luckily, I do have a backup. I actually have 2 backups because I have another webcam I could use. It's just not quite as good as this one. And then, obviously, my overlay changed quite a bit. That is because, for anybody who doesn't know, we were having some issues with the replay folks where the YouTube wasn't always showing the chat replay, and that, especially when I'm talking with you guys in the chat, is quite important. So I decided to go ahead and just embed it into the stream itself. That way there are not issues. There does seem to be a delay of a couple of seconds between when I'm seeing chats and when they go into the replay. It's because they have to go through a couple of different programs, but I am still trying to get everything worked out and ironed out. I also have some other cool things that I can implement that just have not happened yet. If you have any issues with seeing the chat, especially on such a small screen, I mean, obviously if you're on a really small screen with a phone, it's going to be significantly harder than if you're on a bigger screen, but please let me know because I do want to make this as accessible as possible. So yeah, let me know, and I am happy to make changes going forward. I tried to make the chat a little bit bigger on one of my screens from last night. We'll see if that worked, but if it's still too small, again, let me know and we'll make adjustments. So yay! Thank you for being here through my whole crazy preamble. If you are enjoying yourself so far, even though I haven't talked about any news yet, please give this a thumbs up. I really appreciate it. It's a free way to support me. And if you want to support me other ways, I have affiliate links for Erin Condren in the description box down below. So if you're going to make a purchase anyway, clicking that and making the purchase from my affiliate link doesn't cost you anything extra. Gives me a little kickback. I also run a sticker shop over on Etsy and a sticker subscription box. Those links are in the description box as well. And then I also have an account on Ko-fi. And if you want to quote unquote buy me a coffee or buy me a roll of washi, I'm still trying to figure out what my terminology is going to be there. But the goal eventually is to get subscription and stuff on Etsy moved over to that platform, because the fees are less there, which means I could charge you less. So therefore, as YouTube's people, you guys would get a little bit of a price break, which I think is awesome. So anyway, that's the whole update. If you don't want to or can't give me money or buy anything, no worries. Just being here is amazing, and a thumbs up is a little bonus. So let's go ahead and get into the news for today. So first off, let's talk about the Teacher Lesson Planner launch. I should have kind of queued this up on my end. Okay, so we do have the screen share working, and you should still be able to see the chat, but I just realized that my little icon on YouTube, like my face, that picture's like 6 years old, but I love it because it's the only good picture I ever got of me and one of my cats, like smiling. They have never agreed with me ever since. So it's not my channel picture anymore, but whatever. Anyway, the what was I gonna say? Oh, I might have to change it up because I think that might be blocking part of the chat, and that would be the part of the chat that shows the new stuff. It's different sizes on different screens. So anyway, this is the Erin Condren website, as you can see. And I just realized that my screen is I have my window sized incorrectly for the screen share. There, I think that should be better. Okay, that way I can look at it and make sure I'm not cutting anything off. So, as we all know, the Erin Condren Life Planner released to the public last week on Tuesday. Has it only been a week? That's crazy. And it released to Erin Condren Insiders on Monday last week. I am still waiting for my order to be shipped, but some people have already got theirs, and we have some cool inside information about that. So I will be showing that in a minute, but first I just quickly want to address the Teacher Lesson Planner. Those are going to be coming out very soon. The EC Insider release date is May 16th. I haven't yet asked them if it's going to be a 9 p.m. Pacific release like the Life Planner was, or if it's going to be a different time. So I will ask and get back to you on that, and then release to everybody else on May 17th. And at this point in time, I don't really have that much more information. I'm not getting a preview copy of this particular planner. I missed the deadline, and honestly, I'd rather they go to teachers anyway and people who will actually be able to use them. I have to say though, there's some other upcoming potential PR copies coming out that I haven't missed the deadline for. I can't talk about it, but the email just came out today, and I literally plan to go apply right after this stream. But the other thing that's happening right after this stream is a town hall talking about the Teacher Lesson Planner and going into all the little nitty-gritty details that they tell affiliates so that we can pass it on to you guys. Unfortunately, the embargo for that does not lift until May 10th. So even though I'm getting the info tonight, I cannot share it until next week. I'm not sure exactly what day I'm going to share that because I typically stream Mondays and Thursdays, and it's releasing on a Tuesday. I'll probably just do it the Thursday of that week. But I just wanted to give you a heads up on that. As of this evening, I will have significantly more information, and I'm sure it will be very exciting stuff. If you were there for the last live where I talked about all the little secret inside information for the Life Planner, there were a lot of really interesting tidbits that I didn't know about, partially about the design process. They also went and talked about different features, some of which, this one is opal by the way, some of which I wasn't paying attention to, and I use the life planner, whereas I don't use the teacher lesson planner. So I think this is going to be even more valuable because I don't have as much firsthand experience and I can't do as much of a comparison just on looks and memory like I can for the life planner. So I think this is going to be really awesome, and I'm very excited to be able to get back to you on that, as well as all the other stuff that's upcoming. I'm trying to word things carefully so that I'm not mentioning anything, and I'm also not like specifically revealing what the information was, because I don't want them to get mad at me, because I'd love to stay an affiliate. Thanks, Erin Condren. So I've been saying for the past few weeks that I expect the academic planner and the monthly planner to come out in the next couple of months, along with back to school stuff. I think a lot of the back to school stuff in the past has come out along with the teacher lesson planner, so I don't know if they're going to do additional stuff with the academic planner or not. And then we also usually get some sort of summer collection, and I've also noticed in the past Erin Condren's releasing new covers all of the time. If you're unaware and new to Erin Condren, a lot of their planners have interchangeable covers, so those are a lot of fun to switch up. I never do, but I have some really cool covers. I think I should like just start a display of all my Erin Condren covers on the wall, or like just start framing them or something. That way I can enjoy them. Because even when I do have a cover on my planner, well, I mean, I always have a cover on my planner, but even when I do switch it up, my planner is usually open on my desk. So I don't get to really enjoy it anyway. That's neither here nor there. But anyway, I just wanted to update you about the teacher lesson planner. Also, if you yourself are a teacher or an educator, I have a post on my community tab. I don't think I put it in the description, but Erin Condren is doing a teacher grant. This is their first ever one. There are 3 prizes and you can go and apply. Don't quote me on this, but I want to say the application closed on May 11th. Go check it and be safe. I could be wildly off there. But anyway, if you haven't applied for that, please do. Unfortunately, homeschooling doesn't count. And since I was homeschooled 1st through 7th grade, that is very sad. But that has been taken as far as feedback goes. So maybe when they do it in the future, they will include homeschoolers. Okay, so mostly that was what I wanted to talk about with the teacher lesson planner, because again, we don't really have any information besides the release date at this point in time. Mark your calendars, May 16th. And the other thing I really wanted to talk about was a picture. Sorry, I have so many different things going on. Oh, it's over here. Sorry. So we reviewed this last night on the stream where I was testing a bunch of my setup. So this might be a little bit of a repeat if you were here that time, but this is a card that is coming in the life planner purchases for the new life planners, and it is giving a little bit of a preview for the back to school collection. And I literally just said, oh, I don't know if they're going to do any more back to school stuff, because I was thinking that this was a summer collection for some reason in my little noggin. But no, this is a back to school collection, and looking at it, it's like, duh. So anyway, we're going to go over this again because this is pretty cool. Thank you so much to 𝗏𝗏𝐻 for sending me this. That way we can look at it, because honestly, if I didn't have this, this would be a pretty slow Erin Condren news week, which hence the whole like, this is why I'm trying to expand potentially to different planners and things like that. Also, if you have any comments, any questions, anything like that, as we're going, if you're here live, feel free to leave it in the chat. If you're watching the replay, please leave it in the comments. Especially if you're watching the replay, comments actually show YouTube, just like thumbs up, that you're enjoying this video. So just leaving a comment is an amazing way to show your support for the channel, and it doesn't cost you anything. Yeah, okay. So let's go ahead and zoom in and go over this again. Unfortunately, a lot of these pictures were pretty small to begin with, but we do have a little bit of information here. We have pictures, and then we have a little bit of a description. So the first thing is a pastel functional planner sticker book. So this is pretty similar to the sticker books that we got with the life planner release and that we get with the life planner release every year. Sorry, my nose is itching. These are mixed metallic stickers, again, just like the Life Planner sticker book. Erin Condren is like top notch on metallic stickers. I will totally give them that. You know me. If I have a criticism of Erin Condren, I will not hesitate to state it. I will usually be nice about it, but I will not hesitate to state it. Erin Condren does a very good job with metallics on stickers. I got stickers from them once that were cut a little more off than I would have liked. They were still like within margin of reasonableness, but anyway, that's why I'm not saying like Erin Condren stickers are always amazing, but the metallic on the stickers and like their designs always is top notch. Okay. My nose is itching. Sorry guys, that is very unfortunate. I feel like I have a booger. I think I might have gotten it like right at the edge, because you totally needed to know that. I need to put together a version of this overlay that does not have my face on it. That way, if I, for some reason, ever do not want to have my face on it, or I need to scratch my nose or something, I have that ability. That's okay. So this, I mean, we can't tell too much, but it's looking like this sticker book is kind of, as I said, what we got with the Life Planner release, except slightly different mixed metallic stickers, but they are all very pastel. It almost looks like a pastel version of color blends, which is very interesting that they'd be doing that, because, you know, with the release of Harmony Neutral, that was supposed to be that, and that in Bloom were supposed to be their pastel stuff, and here we have this coming out, especially for fall. I would think we're getting a little bit more out of pastels, but we're definitely seeing a lot of pastels, a lot of rose gold. I have no problems with this, don't get me wrong, but yeah, that is what we're seeing, and unfortunately the picture is so small that we can't really see a ton of detail in the stickers. Next, we have this backpack. This is arriving in August, and I mention that specifically because it says the rest of it is coming in July. So this is going to be a little bit later. So it looks like you can personalize it. It has side pockets, a zippered pocket in the front, a planner pocket, a padded a padded laptop sleeve, and storage for all your essentials. I'm not sure what they mean by storage for all your essentials, except there's space in it. Like, I don't know, is it little organized compartments? I don't know. But this is spendy. This is $92, and it mentioned that it's customizable. So it could even be more if you're going to get it customized. I am not surprised that it's very expensive, because Erin Condren in general is not a cheap brand. I mean, when you think about it, when you buy like a 7x9 life planner, that is what, $55, $65, like it's expensive. It's not like, you know, your $10, $20, $30 planner that you're gonna go to like, I don't know, Target or Staples and get. It's a more expensive planner. It's more luxury, and honestly, part of it is you're paying for the price, or not the price, you're paying for the brand name, Erin Condren. It's worth it, don't get me wrong, their planners are gorgeous and worth it, but with anything like this, to some extent, yeah, you are paying a little bit for the brand name. So this is a backpack. I would be really curious to see entire dimensions. I also am very intrigued by the choice to have it be such a light color. I'm sure there are a lot of people with light colored backpacks, but I am personally incapable of keeping my bags and backpacks clean. And especially if you, like a high schooler or a college student is getting this, I'm guessing it could get very dirty, and having a very light color, while it is very pretty, isn't necessarily as functional as it could be. Now, I'm guessing that we're probably not going to have a ton of high schoolers, unless their family is pretty well to do off having this backpack. This is probably a little bit more geared at an adult who is carrying stuff around. That is going to be a little bit different. This could be a great option for somebody, again, who likes Erin Condren and likes their florals, to carry into an office if they have a laptop, or maybe they work from home a few days a week or something like that. But again, it is certainly not cheap. I, of course, looking at this, Usually when I'm wearing backpacks, I'm either on vacation or I spent a summer in New York a few years ago, and I brought my backpack around a lot of places there. So when I see this design, like when I think about that, just for me, practicality purposes, just that design of the zipper, I'm like, that would be really easy for people to get into. That is me being pessimistic, but you know, when you're in New York for a summer, and my mom grew up in New York, so even though I didn't grow up in New York, I in some ways was kind of raised with the New York mentality of like avoid pickpockets, which is smart. Don't want to get your stuff stolen. So yeah, I just look at that and I think like, okay, in a school or in an office, it might not be so bad, but like if you were walking around like public transit or something like that, I would be really worried that people could get into that pretty darn easily. Again, that is just me being pessimistic. And again, being 110% honest. I tell you, if I have an issue with Erin Condren or a potential concern or anything like that, I will be honest with you guys, even though I am an affiliate. Moving on here, number 3, I forgot what this is, so we have to go down and look to it. Okay, softbound academic planners. So they mentioned that these are great lefty friendly, lie flat friendly. I know that these can also be great for people with different sensory issues. I know that, like me specifically, when I'm writing in something, it either needs to lie completely flat or it needs to like fold over on itself. I typically end up going with spiral bound personally above soft cover, just because I do like the option to have it take up a little bit less real estate on my desk or my table, but to each their own. This is only $30. It looks like it has a vegan leather cover. I think these are great. You'll see here mentioned though that we do not have the spiral academic planner anywhere on this preview card. My guess is that that is going to be coming out separately. And that's why it's not here, but we have gotten a spiral academic planner every year for the past few years. My sister has actually used it the past few years and she absolutely loves it. So I think that that is just going to be coming out separately and maybe released a little bit separately from the softbound and from the rest of this stuff. But I did find it very, very interesting that they're putting the softbound planner on here, but not the spiral planner. Maybe they are planning on promoting it a little bit separately, but they wanted to have a planner on there just for cohesiveness of the collection. I don't know. I, at this point, am purely guessing. And I just realized that, sorry, I expanded my window so you can't even see everything. I'm sorry. I literally set this new thing up last night and I am still getting used to it. So here are the softbound planners that we're talking about. So we have one that has an in bloom cover and the other one has a gradient cover. We also haven't gotten the softbound refresh for the LifePlanners yet. And it would be interesting to see if they come out at the same time that these softbound academic planners do. I don't know one way or the other, but that was just a thought I had about something that we hadn't really seen yet. So who knows? Who knows? The chat is a little quiet, by the way. Anybody who is here, I want you to tell me, I don't know, we haven't gone over everything, but which of the things on this card look the coolest to you? And if someone told you you can have one of them and we'll just give it to you, what would you choose? Sharon, welcome in. So this today, first off, we talked about the teacher lesson planner release date, which I know I've mentioned a couple times, and then we're going over the card that 𝗏𝗏𝗏 sent to me that is came with the Life Planner unboxing, because I do not have my Life Planner order yet. But I have some different thoughts from last night when I went over it in the Hangout and test stream. And 𝗏𝗏𝗏 also sent me a ton of photos from his trip to the Erin Condren store in California. I think it's pronounced Irvine, California. Irving? Don't quote me on that. So I'm not going to go over all of those today because today is definitely more focused on planner news. But if you want to look at all of those, you can definitely check out last night's stream, the replay. I was doing a little bit of troubleshooting with my new setup. I tend to end up doing my troubleshooting and impromptu streams on the weekends. I'm thinking about just making it an actual, like, normal thing on the weekends because it feels like it always happens. Hello, Crystal. Thank you for showing up. I know a lot of us haven't gotten our is scheduled to ship between the 6th and the 13th, I think. I'm hoping that it will ship sooner as opposed to later because I did not order any customization, and in my experience, orders tend to ship sooner from Erin Condren if you don't customize it. But it's also the Life Planner launch, and they've been getting a ton of orders, and they probably have a bunch of people that ordered the compact vertical lesson planner. That would be cool. Compact vertical A5 planner before me that they need to get orders out for, so I don't know how that works. TJ's saying you love the bookmark ruler. Yes, we are going to get to that in a second. The more I look at that, the more I love it. So yes, very, very exciting. And then just really quickly back to the like getting of your planners. There's the whole production side of things on Erin Condren, but then there's also the whole like how long does it take to ship? And I live in Portland, Oregon. I know I mentioned that like I feel like twice a stream, but I don't want to assume that anybody knows. And things always tend to take a little longer to get to me. So it's funny because like I consider myself living in like a city or something like that, but in the grand scheme of things, Portland is tiny and it's only well known because it's trendy. It's not even my part of Portland that's trendy. It's like the other side of Portland that's trendy. I live in the suburbia side of Portland. I technically live in Portland, but the area of Portland that I live in, like if someone were to ask me and they were from the area, I would say I live in one of the suburbs. I just realized I probably shouldn't say it just because I do want to be safe and not have any stalkers. TJ got your planner today, Harmony Colorful. Yay, that is so exciting. Oh my God, that is so exciting. I personally ended up going for the 18-month because apparently October and November of 2023 match up with May and June of 2022 day of the week wise. And so I got it so that I could start using it early, as well as have a few extra spreads just to test the stickers in my shop. Sometimes I need some extra space. Yes, TJ, I am so glad it made your day. That is so exciting. I would be jumping up and down, probably literally. Ew, excuse me, if it was me. Crystal, you're in DC and keep checking the website, but it still reflects as printing. I know, right? I've had my planner status be printing and then go to like inspection and then go back into printing. And I don't know if it was legitimately something they had to correct or if that was their way of accounting for a delay on their end. I could see it either way. Yeah, TJ, I love, like, there are so many awesome people in the planner community, and I love, at least the people that I have met, that everybody is just like so positive and happy for each other. I don't see a lot of competition or anything like that. And I think a lot of it stems from the fact that planners are not only creative expression, but they're also about kind of like living your own best life. And it's hard to compare, like, when you get into the nitty-gritty of like, is my best life not as good as their best life over there? Maybe I'm just getting too meta, but yeah, I definitely love how positive this community is and just how fun and inclusive, and it just makes me happy. It just makes me very happy. Yeah, that homeschool life, that compact vertical delay, I would totally have taken one of the ones that had the line missing, but I understand that Erin Condren doesn't want to put those out because if people didn't know that there was a line missing in there and then got it, they'd be like, oh no, there was a mistake, and then it would be like this whole thing. So I totally get why they don't want to do that, but it would be cool if there was like an option and like maybe like a big disclaimer with a checkbox, like I understand I'm getting one with an issue or something like that, and I'm all about a good discount or a good deal. Like, I find this so funny because Erin Condren, as I said, time and time again, is not a cheap brand, and I love these planners, but like for the most part, I won't say I look for a deal in everything I do, but I definitely like kind of always have my ear to the ground thinking about stuff. And it's to the point that like when I get a good deal on something, I will literally like call my mom and be like, guess what kind of deal I got. Okay, here's a good deal. Not planner related specifically, but I know some of you guys out there are gamers like me. I am currently playing Animal Crossing. But anyway, if you're in the US and you have a GameStop near you, they have a pro plan, and it costs, I think it's $10 or $15 to join for a year, and that kept me from joining for a long time. And then I realized that they give you a $5 off coupon every month. And what you can do if you don't want to buy anything that month is you can go in and you can exchange it for e-currency. So I get it in the Nintendo Switch eShop. So I still have to go in for May. I just go in once a month, say, hey, I want my $5 in Nintendo eShop credit, and they give it to me. It's on a receipt. I enter it in, and literally you pay $15 and then you get $60 of eShop credit. I think you can do the same thing for PlayStation or Xbox. I don't think you can for Apple. That would be cool if you could. But so yeah, if you're a gamer and you have a GameStop near you, I highly recommend doing that because it is the best deal ever. So yeah, Sharon, I had no idea this was a thing at GameStop either until I was like in there. It was back in October or November that they told me about it, and I just like kind of started putting two and two together. I think they were trying to upsell me, and I'm like, oh, you know, I don't buy games every month, and they're like, hey, you can do this, and I'm like, oh, ooh, okay, I'm in. So because of that, I mean, I know that this is very store specific, but GameStop has, you know, between that program as well as the one that's near me just being really nice and friendly and helpful, I like getting my games there. I know that there's, you know, with any corporation, there can be stuff going on behind the scenes, and I know there's, anyway, but as far as the local one, I've had very, very good experiences at GameStop. And apparently the one near me is struggling, so I also want to give them my support. And they let me take Kiki in. Okay, I know that we're off the topic of planners, but again, fun anecdotal story. So for anybody who might not know, because I haven't had her on stream in a little bit, Kiki is my mom's dog, but I live really near my dog. I live really near my mom, and I dog sit sometimes, so sometimes she does join us. But because I live near my mom, I often will also take Kiki out when I'm running errands so that Kiki can be in the car and she can look out the window and all that sort of thing. But Lynn's asking where's my dogs and cats. I have a cat right here. She won't want to come on camera, but she's gonna. She's like, nope. She's camera shy. So anyway, when I first started taking Kiki on errands, I started calling around so I could figure out what places would allow me to bring her in. I do a lot of post office runs because I do have an Etsy shop, right? So I have to send stuff out in the post or in the mail. Sounded real British there for a sec, except without the accent. Anyway, and my post office has a drive-through drop boxes, so I can bring Kiki with me, even though she's technically not allowed inside. I'm not sure if they'd kick me out for being in there for like 2 minutes and dropping stuff off, because my orders, since they're stickers, they're usually pretty small. Anyway, so I was calling around, and so I called GameStop to see if they would let her come in. And I said, do you allow small dogs in the store as long as their owner is holding them? And the person on the other line says, well, it sounds like you're talking about a service animal, and we do allow service animals. I'm like, you know, just so we're 100% clear, she's not a, and then he interrupts me and he's like, I'm winking at you right now. I'm like, oh, okay, cool. So that is the story about how I got permission, and that guy ended up being the manager. So that's how I got permission from the manager over the phone to bring Kiki into GameStop. Not sure if it will work at all GameStops, but anyway. Back to planners and pens specifically, because that's the next one on the list, and that's probably what you're actually here for, not to hear me. Well, I mean, stories about animals are always fun, so I doubt many people would say, like, no, don't interject a story about animals here and there. So, anyway, so number 4 with these pens, colorful fine liner pens 10 pack. Write, draw, doodle, stencil, and enjoy all forms of fine lines with these colorful set of fine liner pens. So these look really pretty. I know that Erin Condren already has some very fine tip pens though. So what I'm curious about is what's the difference besides the outside appearance of these pens between these and other Erin Condren pens? I don't know. It could just be the pattern on the outside and there's nothing wrong with that, but I'm curious because sometimes their pens do have some new cool things, like these magnetic ballpoint pens. We'll skip over number 5 and go to these. So these caps are magnetic, so they don't slip off the pens, which is awesome because especially if you're in school or you're a teacher, or sometimes even if you're in an office, losing caps is like inevitable. So I think that is so cool. It looks like the Erin Condren logo is right there. I can't quite tell, again, because it is so small and I'm just blowing up a picture. There's only so much resolution that can be printed on a card. But I do really like the colors. I think they are very pretty. And I feel like they go with the rest of the collection, but they're not like this peachy color, which I think is pretty. But when I start thinking about like back to school, I don't necessarily think of this peachy color. I think about that as being more of like a spring summer color versus a school color. Though I know a lot of people go back to school in August, and my area is the oddballs out with, well, not so much the K through 12 oddballs out because they start the Tuesday or Wednesday after Labor Day, but the colleges or universities or whatever, the state schools around here, start at the end of September. So for me, by especially the end of September, we are very solidly in the fall and therefore need autumn colors. But a lot of people do start in late July or August, which would still be a summery time. So it makes sense. But anyway, these colors read a little bit more fall, even though this is definitely more of a lavender. While I don't necessarily like think about lavender as a fall color because it is kind of cooler and you have the gray tones and a lot of lavenders, especially the way they're printed. I hope I'm not like getting too like designy or anything like that in this, but because you do have those like undertones, I feel like it is a very good fall accent color, even if I wouldn't call it like a fall color. Hope that makes sense. Oh, Crystal's asking what kind of pens I use in my planner. Excellent question. So let me go ahead and just switch real fast back to my beautiful face. So I am not hugely picky about my pens, and I have a huge collection of pens that just don't stay in my desk. And so occasionally I do kind of switch them out and whatnot, but let me just grab what I have right now and I'll show you what I specifically use in my planner, and then like the other sorts of things that I end up writing with if I'm writing on sticky notes or other things. So my favorite pen, I didn't have it last time we talked about this. It is the, hopefully you can see that, the Bic Gelocity pens. The story behind this is I was getting something from Amazon. I think it was cutting mats or something. And I needed them quickly, and I could get them a day early if I got them shipped to the local Amazon locker. And so that's what I did. I usually don't bother. But so anyway, I go to pick it up, and at my Amazon locker, it is like one of the actual dedicated Amazon locker facilities. And so you have a barcode and you like do it on the machine. They have like a back room, and it like comes out of a conveyor belt, and then a little door opens and you get your box. So anyway, it had a 2-pack of these on it. And at first I thought it was a mistake. And then I saw a sticker on it saying it was a sample. And I'm like, okay, yeah, I'll take a free pen. And then I realized I love these things. So I actually need to buy a new box or pack. I don't know which they come, but yeah, these are my absolute favorite. I also have a lot of these Staedtler black pens lying around. I think I got these years ago because somebody on YouTube, probably 𝗀𝗏𝗏 knowing me, was saying that she really liked using them in her planner. And I like them. I personally prefer ballpoint pens, especially when writing in black. I don't know, I prefer that experience. But because I got a whole pack of these, I have a ton of them lying around. So this isn't my preferred pen, but especially because I'm almost out of the ones that I really like, I will often use these. I also try to keep a couple of colored pens in my desk in case I want to write in my planner or anything else in colors. These are the ones I currently have in my desk. I very desperately need to switch them out. There's also a teal one that's behind my desk because the cats knocked it off. So I need to get that and then get out my pen folio, which is so big I don't keep it on my desk, but that's where I have like all my pens, or all the pens I don't keep in my desk. And then, and swap out some colors. I like to do this every so often. And then the other writing utensils that I keep, I have, I mean, it happens to be an Erin Condren pencil because they sent it to me at one point for PR. And so that just happens to be the pencil I have. But I like mechanical pencils because you don't have to worry about sharpening them. You do have to worry about lead, but once I found the 0.5 lead that goes with it, it wasn't a big deal. Mine happens, I'm not sure if you can see, it has some little paint on it because I was literally like using the tip of the lead to ink numbers in dice a while ago because I couldn't find anything smaller, so that's okay. It's well loved. And then I also keep a Sharpie, both a normal one and a fine point one, in my desk for various things. So yeah, that is the overview of the writing tools that I use and what is currently in my little pen holder in my desk. And typically whatever's in my pen holder is what gets used in my planner. Let me go ahead and, since I'm here and talking about stuff anyway and it gets kept in the same compartment, this is also amazing. It's not meant for planners. This actually came with my Silhouette cutting machine. It's meant for pulling stuff off of the cutting mats. If you're not aware, like Silhouette and Cricut machines, I happen to have one on my desk, these adhesive mats, yay! And so what you do when you're cutting something, whether it be stickers or vinyl or whatever, for me it's always stickers, is you stick the thing on, it has some fairly light adhesive, depending on how new it is, and you put it in, and it will cut it, and then it spits it out, and this will keep it fairly stabilized while it's cutting. So there are ways you can cut without mats, but I don't do those. Anyway, so the process of like getting all the bits out of the cut that you don't want is called weeding. And so this was one of the little weeding tools, this little spatula. But it works awesome for planing because not only can I put a sticker kind of on the edge of it, position it where I want, and then I can like push the sticker down with my finger and then kind of like work the spatula out. So it allows me to be a lot more precise than I can just with my fingers. But because it's a spatula, if I misstick a sticker, it makes it really easy to just kind of like go in there and scoop it up, especially if it was either just stuck down or if it is a removable mat sticker. So that is another thing that's in my desk. And then I have an X-Acto knife, which is currently on my desk, but this can be good for cutting stickers, and this goes between my desk and my craft table. So yeah, that is an overview of the stuff that is in my desk that I use for planning, and occasionally I use scissors, but yeah. Anyway, hope that answered your question, Crystal. I hope that was not way too much info. Oh, I will mention, when I mentioned that, you know, those were the Erin Condren pens that I use, I almost only use the fine tip side. Occasionally I'll use this to make like a header on a list or something like that, but I almost always just use the fine tip side. I'm definitely a fine tip pen sort of gal. Oh, Crystal, I'm glad that that was helpful and interesting. I have the new ones from Erin Condren coming that are a fine tip on one side and chisel on the other, and I'm so excited to give those a try. Those are probably going to become my new like holy grail pens. I want to look at number 5. This is another thing that's going to come in August. This is an adjustable wood laptop stand. I am personally very interested in this because I would love a laptop stand. I talked about this last night, but when I stream, I do have to elevate my laptop a little bit. and to make sure that like the camera height, or if I'm not using my webcam to film, just the height of my screen is right so that my eye line like is right for filming. Oh my goodness, I totally did that and I totally forgot to switch back to the screen share. So this is the wood laptop stand that we're talking about. And before it said it was wood, I didn't realize it was wood because it definitely is that peachy color. To me, I almost thought it was like a fuzzy velvet thing. And it almost looks like there is mid-century circles on it. So it's probably like wood with like a painted or maybe like a linen outer finish or something like that is my guess. I don't think it says. I think it just says, yeah, adjustable high quality laptop stands. So yeah, I am personally very excited. And if I can't manage to get them to send this to me for PR, I will definitely be buying it. There are some things on the Erin Condren website, I'm like, that's interesting. I'll try it out if, you know, I wouldn't buy it, but if they want to send it to me, I'll give it a shot. There are a lot of things that I will totally spend my own money on, and this is one of them. So I just thought I would point that out. So anyway, next we have a repositionable weekly whiteboard and notepad. So there's a notepad on this side, and then this side is a whiteboard. And so this could be good for like kitchens or something like that. I could see this being amazing for meal planning. I don't think I brought this up last night, but listing what the meals are going to be every day. And then this could be your grocery list. And then when you're going to go to the store, you just tear it off and bring it with you versus having to either keep a separate list or take a picture with your phone or like what have you. So that could be really great for that particular purpose. I'm sure there are other things that this could be great for. I'm not sure personally what I would use it for. I also don't really meal plan because I am not nearly that organized. I also have ADHD, which is so funny, like being so into planners and even having my own planner sticker shop and then being like, yeah, I'm not that organized. It's the irony. I get it. I get it. But still, I'm going to be honest with you guys. So about that. So for me personally, I don't meal plan, but I know a lot of people do. Yes, I know 𝗫𝗫, I hope I have that right. The backpack is $92. It is quite expensive. Yeah. And I don't know if you were here earlier when I mentioned it, but this is also a really light color, so it's gonna get dirty really fast too. But we also looked at a lot of the bags yesterday that Erin Condren does have, and a lot of them are also quite expensive. So, I mean, their leather ones I think are like $110, and even the ones that are canvas are, I think it's $60, and this is definitely more intricate. I forget if they said this was canvas or not. Yeah, it is canvas. My guess and my hope would at least it would be fairly well and sturdily built. I don't think I've ever gotten anything from Erin Condren that's fallen apart though, so that is good at least, but especially for that price, you would need it to be really sturdy. Moving on to number 8, what was it? Who was saying this? It was either That Homeschool Life or someone who was saying that they're really excited about the bookmark ruler. Who was it? I can't even find it now. TJ, sorry, I am misremembering. So yes, so this is their new bookmark ruler. They used to have a gold ruler available, metal gold ruler. They're pretty, nothing special as far as metal rulers go. Mine is very dirty because it goes back and forth between my desk and my craft table. It is 6 inches long, so it's not very long. I'm guessing this won't be very much longer anyway. So having it as a bookmark, I don't think it takes much, if anything, away from the ruler part of the functionality, and having it as a bookmark, I think adds more functionality, which I really do love, especially if you do go to a school that doesn't have lockers and you have to carry everything around, whether you're in college or just a high school that doesn't have lockers. Mine didn't, so I had to carry everything around in a backpack. Having that added functionality of having it be both a bookmark and a ruler is great. The other thing I noticed is that because it's a bookmark, you have the spaces inside the ruler, which can make it really, really handy for measuring. I'm guessing this might not come up for people if you don't use rulers a lot, but I do for measuring stickers and things like that for my Etsy shop. And I have several different rulers. Some of them are see-through because that can make things a lot easier. This is the ruler that I got for art class in college, and fun story, I was trying to cut along this thing with an X-Acto knife and I sliced off a little bit of my finger. Do I still have a scar? Yeah, it's faint now, but it's just like, yeah, anyway, it was right before a final too, and so I had to like just kind of bandage it and put pressure on it and like hope, I don't know what I was hoping. I was gonna say hope I didn't lose my finger, but it wasn't enough that I was really in danger of losing my finger, but I was in quite a bit of pain during that final critique. So anyway, if you're ever cutting with an X-Acto knife, always cut against a metal ruler. Do not cut against plastic ruler. Metal. But I still have that ruler. I probably should get another one. It's probably bad juju to still have it, but whatever. But yeah, clear rulers can be amazing. And so this is having the metal and also some see-through bits could make it easier to line things up and to measure. So in addition to adding the functionality for being a bookmark, it also adds a little bit of measuring functionality if you have those special use cases. It is, of course, short, so it's not going to be, you know, your 12 or your 18-inch ruler that is going to be really big, so you might need another ruler anyway. Just going to go ahead and catch up with the chat real fast. Crystal, yes, I will let you know if I get something that falls apart. It has not happened yet. Let's see. I have a bag and I don't use it, not worth the money. Yeah, the bags, okay. I don't think that the Erin Condren bags are not worth the money in general. They are not worth the money for me personally. I hope that makes sense. I'm gonna turn the music down just a little bit. I realized it was a little bit louder than I would want. I got sent my bags as PR. So again, full disclosure. In hindsight, would I have bought those? I don't think so. Part of the big thing, so I have one of the bigger bags and they also sent me a smaller one. So there are a couple of things for these, the crossbody bag and the planner tote crossbody bag. One of them is that I have a 15-inch laptop. And so one of the big things that I use bags of that size for is toting around my laptop. Pre-pandemic, I like to bring my laptop to coffee shops and work there a lot just to get out of the house because I do run my own business at home and it's not uncommon for me to not leave the house for like 3 to 4 days. Fun story, when everything was in lockdown at the beginning of pandemic, it took me a little longer to go stir crazy than I think it took a lot of people because I was already used to being home so much. So it took a little bit longer for it to like set in. But then when I went stir crazy, I went like stir crazy and it was like that. Anyway. Need to scratch my eye there. So for me, the fact that that particular bag and a lot of things that Erin Condren makes that are meant for laptops are not meant for the 15-inch. They're meant for 13-inch. And I get that. A lot of people have 13-inch laptops. I have a 15-inch, so that is just something I have to deal with. It will still fit in the bag, but it won't fit in the zippered compartment in the bag. And that kind of comes to the other thing that I don't especially like about those bags. Again, personally, is that the crossbody bags that Erin Condren has are not zippered bags. They have zippered compartments on either side, but the bag itself is not zippered. And I feel like for that kind of bag, even though they're saying it's a tote, I feel like a zipper would just add a little bit more security. The time that I used that bag the most, apart from toting my computer to coffee shops, was when I spent a summer in New York. And I was always like hyper worried about someone reaching into my bag. I know a lot of people don't live in big cities, and now that I'm back in Portland, that's not really an issue. The issue right now is more like, will my stuff fit in it? So I actually do have another bag that I tend to use more than those, but I do end up using those a lot of times for putting orders in when I'm going to the post office. Sometimes I do like a lot at once. Sometimes I do them like every day and it's just a smaller amount and I don't need to put them in a bag. But would I have purchased them with my own money? Knowing what I know now, no. Knowing what I knew then, I don't think I would have purchased the bigger one. I'm not sure about the smaller one. But I did use the smaller one as a purse for a while, and apart from not having a zipper on the top, it was great. So again, I'll give credit where credit's due, but I will also let you know what didn't work for me. So there you go. Moving on to this calculator. As I mentioned last night, this is adorable. This is great for a desk. I mean, this is coming out with the back to school collection, and I feel like most people that need a calculator for school need more of like a graphing calculator. I don't know what a lot of teachers' policies are regarding phones. I know that some teachers in some schools do allow them. I know a lot of them don't, but it's cute, but I feel like it's not necessarily practical for putting in a backpack and bringing to class. And so for me, it makes it a little bit of an interesting choice for a back to school collection. Sharon, you do bring up a good point. It's probably very clicky and it is cute. I will definitely give it that. It is adorable. Functionality, I guess, is my worry. I also use my calculator on my phone a lot as well as my computer. I have an actual calculator floating around and I rarely use it because I have other options and I honestly just don't want to. I have enough stuff in my desk. Last year, I almost told this story last night and then I got totally sidetracked. So last July, I think, like very beginning of July, it was actually like right over Amazon Prime Day because I got to take advantage of that, all the sales and stuff like that. So basically what happened is my laptop screen stopped working. Just like I opened it one day and it didn't work. How much is the calculator? $14. That's not too bad. So anyway, I opened my laptop screen and it was just black. So I took it in, I have a Mac, so I had to take it into Apple to see what the price was. And they're like, okay, it could be as low as $400 to get it fixed. It's probably going to be $17. Possible it will be as much as $1,400. I'm like, no. I will admit that when I bought this, I did get a MacBook Pro, so it did cost more than that. But that is ridiculous. And after doing a bunch of research, it turned out that there was basically a ribbon cable in the MacBook Pros from my year and I think the year after that was made just a little bit too short. So as you open and close the laptop, it over the years would get stressed and strained. And I'd had the laptop at that point for like 4.5 or 5 years. And so it was the kind of thing where it was made to break essentially. And they had a repair program in place for some other models, but not for mine. So I priced it out and it turned out that buying another screen and a couple of other things for my desk, computer, mouse, keyboard, and things like that ended up being cheaper than getting a whole new laptop or getting this one repaired. So I already had a second screen, so I got another screen because once you have two screens, you can't go back. So I had my two screen set up. I ended up not having to buy the mouse and keyboard because my dad actually had a spare one floating around. So I used his. They were for Windows and I'm on a Mac, so I had to do a bunch of key remapping, but it worked out. And I used that for quite a long time. And so while I was doing that, I had to like redo the whole thing. I mounted my computer monitor, so I had to buy that. There's some other stuff I had to buy. And so during that, I cleared out my whole desk. I literally took everything out of it and I only put back in what I wanted to keep in there. And I actually still have not completely gone through everything. I have a couple of Erin Condren boxes in my closet that are like have a lot of desk stuff in it that I just cleared out because it was clutter. And I got drawer organizers, and for the most part, knock on wood, it has gone okay, and I've managed to stay fairly organized. So yay for me. It's like the one place that has not descended into madness within a matter of weeks. Now, you wouldn't be able to tell that based on what the top of my desk looks like, but at least the drawers are not completely cluttered, and I can actually find things, which is awesome. So that is my whole story for that. Well, not the whole story, because back in December, I got really mad that I didn't have a laptop screen because I was getting really, really antsy and I wanted to go out. And so, after many a call to Apple and having to rope my dad in because unfortunately sexism is alive and well in customer service. We managed to get Apple to pay for the replacement because the part was literally covered for different models, but it was the same part, like same part, different model. And we're like, so it's covered for this model, but not mine? Like, so it took us, I think, 4 managers, maybe more, before we finally got it covered. It was a big pain in the butt. That is how I ended up with my 3-screen setup, because I already had 2 screens, and I got the extra screen, and then I got my laptop. So, and then part of this whole thing is that I was actually getting motion sick while I was looking at my computer. And so I was trying to figure out all of the different things that I could do. And part of it is I also got a bigger, better screen for one of the screens, and I also got the laptop screen repaired, mostly fixed the motion sickness. Okay. Let's go on to these pens. If I remember correctly, they're like color changing brush pens, and I really want them. Yes, color changing brush marker 6-pack. Coloring and color coding, crafting, decorative, and creative planning. Oh my goodness, I love how they're color changing. That like really makes the 10-year-old in me really happy. Maybe it should make the 7-year-old in me really happy, but my inner child is a 10-year-old tomboy, so therefore it makes the 10-year-old in me very happy. My 10-year-old tomboy inner child is also very artistic, by the way. Not into makeup quite yet. That was a slightly later phase. I didn't get into makeup until college, but yeah, that makes my inner child very happy, and I want them. I would love to learn someday how to do like the beautiful calligraphy or brush hand lettering and stuff like that. But my handwriting ain't great anyway. And so I would have to improve my actual handwriting before I could get good with brush pens. But I would just use up all the ink coloring things, and the color changing, I mean, that's the part that makes my inner child happy. I think that'd be so cool. I do have Erin Condren brush pens. They're not in my desk, so I can't show them to you, but they are like definitely bigger brush pens. I did go through a little phase where I was trying to learn modern calligraphy. And so you tend to have 2 different size brush pen tips. You have like the smaller size and the bigger size. And at least with the other pack of Erin Condren brush pens that I have, I don't know if they're still available, but they are definitely the bigger size. I personally prefer the smaller size. So I'm guessing these are going to be the bigger size. I will be very, very happy if they're the smaller size. I feel like the smaller size is more practical, but that is a personal thing. Especially if you're using them in like a life planner, the smaller brush tip, especially if you actually can do beautiful hand lettering, you have less space to write in. So it just gives you more flexibility when it comes to the space that you do have. So that is the card that I wanted to go over, because again, this is what I would probably call a little bit of a slow news week. Maybe it's just because we literally just came off of a huge release, but we're going to be going into more, which is very, very exciting. I did mention at the beginning, and I will bring it up again. The teacher lesson planner, we do have a release date for that. That is going to be May 16th for Erin Condren Insiders and May 17th for everybody else. We do not have any sneak peeks for the teacher lesson planner. I'm not getting a preview copy. As of this point in time, I don't have any other inside information, but there is going to be an affiliate town hall later today. And so I'm not allowed to say anything about that until the 10th, but I will hopefully have all sorts of fun little insider info, kind of similar to what I had about the life planner from that town hall. So I will be able to talk about that next week. I'm guessing I'm going to talk about that on Thursday next week, but I have not decided yet. So definitely stay tuned for that, because that is going to be quite exciting. Yeah, not a ton else going on, but I've been here for a little over an hour. So it's not like this has only been 10 minutes. I also ramble. and I've been told it's part of my charm, so hopefully you don't mind, and if you do mind, you probably already left, so, you know, that is what it is. I will be having another live stream on Thursday at 2:30 p.m. Pacific, so I'm not sure what I'm going to do then. Maybe a plan with me, TBA. But definitely show up for that. If you want to get notified when it does go live, make sure that you subscribe and ring the little notification bell so that you don't miss any of my lives. But in general, I have them on Mondays and Thursdays at 2:30 p.m. Pacific, and then sometimes I do impromptu lives on the weekends, and those impromptu lives are usually announced on my community tab. I also put other announcements on the community tab. I think if you're subscribed and have the notifications turned on, you'll also get notifications when I post on the community tab. So if you do want to keep up to date on that, that's how you do it. If you don't want to subscribe or do notifications or whatever, I totally get it. I don't like a ton of notifications on my phone. Then you can just go to my channel page and click on the community tab and see it there. Sometimes it will also show up in your feed, all of that good stuff. I am going to give you guys just a couple minutes, maybe like 30 seconds or something like that, to say anything else that you want to say in the comments before I let you guys go. Lynn's saying that you would only buy the sticker book. That's fair. Like, I mean, kind of as we were talking about, a lot of this stuff is very specialized. For me, I want those brush pens, and the magnetic pens are interesting. I don't need them. I want the brush pens and I want the laptop stand. I'm also not married to the fact of getting an Erin Condren laptop stand, so it's possible I'll get a different one. But that one is pretty, and I think it would definitely be nicer than almost anything else I could find. That is one thing I love about Erin Condren stuff, is that like all of their desk stuff is really nice, and a lot of the desk stuff that you find out there is, even the like nicer, more expensive stuff is often very practical, desky, and my desk, office, studio, filming setup thing is in the middle of my living room. So while I know that to some extent I can't avoid it, I do like to go for the nicer option when I can. For instance, I'm very picky. I only buy black printers to print my stickers. And yes, printers, I have 2, potentially 3, but I will not buy white ones. I will buy black ones because white ones would clash with what my decor is like. So anyway, I'm not seeing anything in the chat. Let's see, Sharon and Crystal, thank you for showing up. Lynn, 𝗲𝗂, that homeschool life. Am I missing anybody? Sharon, did I already get you? I think I did. Crystal, TJ, Cosmic Cookie. But anyway, for anybody who is there, either live or watching the replay, thank you so much for showing up. I really do appreciate it. Again, if you are interested in checking anything out on Erin Condren, I do have links down below, as well as a link to my sticker shop. And I will see you guys next time. Thanks again. Bye.